because your settlements can and will get attacked by raiders. So it's fun to build up something yourself in the game that usually you'll find that we have built for you. And there are many large sites in the game world where we allow you to build, and you can even run Brahmin caravans between your settlements. Keep in mind, like most things we do, this is an optional part of the game that you can do if you want to. It's just one part of a huge game, but it's really great for Fallout. We absolutely love this feature. And this crafting system carries over to other things in the world. So let's say you want to build this scope. And the game will tell you you need these components. And those components are found in all of the items in the world. So you could decide to build this scope out of these, you know, say the microscope. And you can even modify your own power armor. We've spent a lot of time on all the weapons and the armor because we have focused heavily from day one to make the combat in this game feel great. And feel great no matter how you played it. You want to play it full-on first person, you can play it in third person, or you can use VATS, which now gives you more control to slow down time and choose your shots. You know, there's a lot of great things that this game does, but I tell you, you could be experiencing, you know, a quiet moment in the game with your dog, and the right song comes on your Pip-Boy, and the action breaks out, and you're reminded just how fun and special a Fallout game can be.
Ready to fuck some shit up?
Can you guys wave? Give a big hand. You know, our fans really are the greatest in the world. I know many of you are here tonight, and I want to let you know just how important it is to us, and we know we have a responsibility to do this game right, and your love and support of Fallout have pushed us to make this our best work. And we really appreciate everybody's patience. You know, we didn't say anything for years in this game while everybody waited. And we don't want you to wait too much longer. So we're happy to say
this fall,
Fallout Shelter will be available right after the showcase is over. You can find a direct link to it on our blog. We'll also be putting it out over all of our social media channels, so we hope you'll take a moment to download it and give it a try. I think you guys will like it. And now we really have come to the end of the show. You just got to look at what is coming from Bethesda in the next year, and there's still more to come from our other studios. We are always trying to push the boundaries of what players can expect from our games wherever they play them, and we think this lineup has something for everyone. From the Elder Scrolls to Fallout, from Doom to Dishonored.
On Twitter and using the hashtag BE3. We even have a cool giveaway for anyone whose questions get answered. You just saw it right there on the show. It's these absolutely uniquely painted.
Yes, now this is something that you're only going to be able to get here, or if you ask a question that we answer on the show.
Yes, and I'm kind of salivating over them.
They're really,
They're
really
very
cool.
special shoes.
All right, guys, we're going to kick things off with one of the all-time classics that is back in a big way. We've known that Doom has been in the works, but tonight the whole world finally saw it unveiled in all of its brutal glory.
Now, along with everything they showed on stage, I'm told we even have a brand new trailer that we're debuting right here in the post-show. So let's take a quick look.
I was telling somebody on the way over here, I wish they all could have stood up there and watched the faces. There's not a lot of opportunities where you get to actually watch the faces of 3,000 people as they're watching what you created, and it was electric. It was so much fun.
It was a brutal demo.
Yes,
which,
of course. It's Doom.
Which is Doom. And so you actually got to unveil it to the entire world. I mean, that must have been a big thrill.
It really was. You know, we did our sneak peek last year at QuakeCon. You were there. Yes, absolutely.
I enjoyed it then, I enjoyed it now.
Very good, very good. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. We gave them a sneak peek, but being able to show the world what we've been working on for a while now, and you know, share that excitement it's the biggest thrill probably of my career.
And Doom, as you pointed out, and I think as many people know, it's been around for 20 years. Yeah. And it really established what we know as the first-person shooter genre in gaming. Yeah. But obviously that genre has changed over the years, not just in your hands, but in many studios out there. But what are those essential elements of Doom that have to be there for the new Doom?
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, I talked about it on stage. You know, you come back to the fundamentals. It's about speed, it's about awesome guns, and it's about killing demons. You know, when you're doing those things, it makes a very fun game. But you know, Doom is kind of like Todd said at the end of his presentation. We take that commitment to the fans seriously. Everybody has a very special experience that they've had with Doom. You know, over the
know what you want to do.
You still need to know what's happening, right? Yeah, you'll still take a fireball in the head once in a while.
So I kind of noticed there are very few objects that seem to be at waist height. You're not going into cover behind them, and more importantly, I talked about this when I saw it at QuakeCon. You're not moving back much, which is also very it's common motif for a lot of people with a lot of enemies. Are we going to see any of that in the course of the game?
No, not really. I mean, we really build our spaces. We call them combat arenas. We think of it a lot like playing a multiplayer game, like an arena multiplayer. We use these big combat spaces. We give you lots of room to move around. We let you use your speed. But we're really not trying to drive the player into combat much at all. We started kind of this Doom with the idea of what we called push-forward combat. And we didn't want the player to feel on their heels at all. We didn't, you know, we're not letting you regenerate your health when you hide. You actually get health from killing enemies. So you're down to 1 health. You want to kill that enemy and run over there and get that health that he drops.
You have to play the game.
You have to play the game. And that's the fun. I mean, Doom is about killing demons and playing the game. There's almost a kind of a juvenile fun to the way it works and the way our enemies to let me drive around, you know? Give me an open track, give me space to move around and really show off my performance. So our designers take that seriously. We kind of design the game in these kind of these arena spaces connected with areas that you can go in. Saw some weapon mods and other little goodies, bigger health, and a bunch of other stuff that we'll probably talk about more down the road. But yeah, it's all very much inspired by the way you do stuff. You know, you got out there and you just ran and you moved forward and you cleaned house.
With the weapons, which we should definitely talk about, I mean, Doom is definitely all about weapons. What kind of attention did you pay to the look, the feel, the history of them?
You know, really everything. I mean, again, it's an attention to detail and it's a respect for the franchise. You know, I have to give our art director, Hugo Martin, a lot of credit, and our amazing art team. When you look at the weapons, when you look at the characters, for that matter, you know, you see these guys when they're doing the concept for them and the model for them. Oftentimes they have the original up and then the concept for the new enemy, and it's always about, you know, kind of what was great about that original character, and then how do we modernize it? How do we make it feel fresh? That essence, and they recreated it in our new engine. So you'll see a lot more of that kind of thing. And of course, the shot there's a funny good bit of damage as well.
I mean, is there just a collection of demented minds? Like, go in the room and come out with some really interesting ideas.
It's actually, I always say it's one of the best things of working in games and even working it is. Like, we can have a meeting about how we're going to rip the arms off of the zombie and beat him to death with them, or have your own arms ripped off. That actually is a real thing that happens in the game. When that Revenant attacks you and rips your arms off, that's one of kind of the player deaths that we have. A whole collection of it.
I probably will also.
It is a game of skill.
Yes. How do the finishing move that...
It's the most addictive part of the game. You look at it and you're like, wow, that's pretty cool. But when you're playing the game, absolutely, it's like a hit of crack every time you do it. It's funny.
So we did not just see the single player tonight. We actually did see the multiplayer as well.
It was sneak peek.
It was a sneak peek. It wasn't as much as the single player, but I feel like it gave the players sort of a good idea of what it was going to be like. So what's your thinking going into the multiplayer?
Well, you know, we're kind of going back to what we feel like we do really well, which is that fast-paced arena-style combat. It's kind of, you know, most people who would look at it would probably call it a mix between a Doom and a Quake style of play. You did see that there's these power-ups that...
Okay, so did I see someone turn into a demon?
You did.
You was fast, and I wanted to read it that way.
Yep.
Okay,
absolutely. It's kind of like a modern version of claw damage, I guess you would say, a very elaborate version of that. So there is a kind of a demon rune in the world that comes into play. Players fight around it, and you can pick it up, and you do turn into one of a few different demons. So and we rap. It's fun.
I always compare it down to you because it is, and when it comes to multiplayer, you know a lot. But balance obviously is a key element to make the game fun.
Sure.
What are those important tenets of balance that you're looking for in Doom multiplayer?
You know, it's about with this kind of game. It's about every player being able to start off with a full, you know, not being hindered from the beginning. We're trying to focus on the will. If you're a player who just wants to go and find the stuff that everybody else is making, you can go and play it and rate it, and upload it, download it, all that kind of stuff. But then you also have this in-game tool. And I will tell you, my background is not in level design or necessarily using our tools, and I love this thing. It is it's the most engaging, fun thing to do. To sit down and snap together your levels. Add this gameplay. You can add pieces of gameplay that are kind of pre-built for you and that almost take over, like add a wave battle. And it's as easy as placing a wave battle in the world. Or you can take that wave battle and break it out and completely customize it. You can pull pieces together. You can set up little scripting. It's almost. I'm anxious to do a really detailed presentation on it because it's so deep and it's.
Thank you.
This was a lot of fun. I appreciate it.
All right, another great reveal was Dishonored 2, which debuted with an amazing trailer. Let's take another look at Dishonored 2.
Someone's pulled the rug out from under. I haven't Did you really deserve everything? More important, what you can do to get it back. Be careful. There's always a price to pay. What you decide will ripple across the world. Blood in the gutters and corruption on the wheel. It'll be fun watching this unfold. What will you do with the power I've given you? How will you make your mark on this wretched world?
Nothing is an accident. Everything is in motion. All of it has led to this exact second in time. You become the assassin we claimed you were. You become one of us!
It's always good to see you.
All right.
Lead architect Damien Laurent does a lot for the world. Our tech group is very powerful. Our art director is Sebastian Cohen. Our level design director. Level design is a huge component of these games. So all of these people are like working together with me and Rafa on the games, and it's just like all the pieces. And it was gratifying to get back to the world for sure. Like, you know, we know Dunwall very well as a city, and we mapped out our empire, and we did lots of like background stuff that the details didn't come up in the first game, but they're just there, you feel them. And so we exploited some of those.
And just to check, you did mention where this game takes place, or at least where we saw it in the trailer. If you could elaborate just a touch on that.
Yeah, the Empire of the Isles is 4 nation states under the Empress, and the southernmost state is Serkonos, and the capital of Serkonos is Karnaca. It's the southernmost city in our empire chain.
And there have been references to it a little bit, like here and there, right?
Even in the DLC, we had posters that said like Karnaca needs workers because there's a big silver mine. So yeah, we alluded to it.
And of course, the biggest surprise in the trailer was who we saw. It was not Corvo. So what can you tell us about this character?
Well, Emily Calvin, the heir of the throne in the first game. 15 years later, we thought that would be a year later since.
For your destiny is your own. Will you fail to dream? Or will you carve your name to myth and join those who have become legends?
Next up, we have the long-awaited next installment in the Fallout series. We had an eye-opening look at it in the recently released trailer, but tonight Bethesda Game Studios revealed all. We saw so much that it would be difficult to cover everything, but here to help with some of the details is the game director, Todd Howard. Todd, That was amazing. We're very
Thank you.
excited. Fans are excited. Everybody's excited. I'm scratching my cards with excitement.
We're excited. Everybody in the office is excited as well. It took, you know, waiting for this moment to finally unveil the game. It was a really big thing for everybody in the team. And us.
Yes, how does it feel to finally go public with that? Are you relieved? Are you
It feels
excited?
really good.
Or are
Like
you
you want to,
exhausted?
people say to you like, so what are you working on? Stuff. So it does feel good to be able to just even tell your friend. You know, I will say that that doing the mobile game, you know, doing Shelter and then not having that leak in any way to finish it completely. You know, everyone in the company was walking around with it on their phones to test it and like, you know, oh, we got to get this out and like, you know, to do it and release a game and not have anybody know about it.
Yeah, so it was like, what are you playing? Tiny tower?
It's far out, Shelby. So, I mean, I've always been fascinated by what your team can accomplish.
Having it be a believable place is very important to us.
So it's been a while since the Fallout game. A little while, as we kept getting reminded by fans. How has the technology changed in that time?
Well, clearly you have the next-gen consoles. The PC can do a lot more now. So the kind of things that we do, it's particularly the memory, actually. So having consoles with a lot more memory allows us to do big dynamic things, and that's important.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of Fallout 4, you know, it is Boston. There's nothing wrong with Boston. In fact, I have to say, one of the most common questions I was seeing on Twitter from me was to find out if every small town in Massachusetts was somehow included in the game.
You can just mash them all together, right, into one town.
We mess with scale quite a bit. If you play Fallout 3 and you look at DC, you'll see that we do change scale up quite a bit to kind of fit that we want to do and change up the landscape.
Yeah, we don't like sitting on the 405. I don't want to sit on the 405 in a video game.
Even in the apocalypse, with all the cars removed, I don't want to do that. But I'm curious, was there a particular reason that you guys were drawn to Boston?
I was saying I was going through all like the Fallout 4 perks in my head, and the ones I like I don't want to reveal yet.
Yeah.
No, not that one, not that one. So we do have a
challenging 6 months ahead of you.
We'll be talking about that stuff later. We intentionally don't cover it here, and it's even in 30 minutes. It's tricky to give people a perspective on everything we're doing because, believe it or not, there is more.
Sure. But something that you did talk about, which I think got a big cheer from the audience, everybody was excited about, was the ability to create a settlement. This is something I'm personally excited about. I know that I'm going to spend my entire time making settlements. How important is that to the game if somebody doesn't want to build? Are they going to be punished for that?
You know, we've always done kind of loose decorating and house building in our previous games. Where you just buy a pack and someone decorates it. We know people taking all of their items and decorating on their own. And when you look at Fallout, doing something like that it just fits. And so, you know, those other games that do that, Minecraft and those kind of things, really inspire us to see some of those inspirations. You know, looking at how people build these really complex machines using Minecraft and stuff, and we felt that we could do that in a really cool way with the world of Fallout and our tech allowing it.
And I think it kind of raises the level of where I could do interior decorating, which is sad mattress in the corner and just airplane chairs over there. That's kind of where my brain is. But what really is neat, it fits with that, and more that you showed is how everything in the game has this new sense of value.
Like, it changes the balance of the game in a very interesting way, where you're not immediately, I'm going to take this and sell it, I'm going to take this and sell it, I'm going to take this and sell it. You're looking at it and saying, I'm going to take this, do I want to sell it? It has a filament in it, and I need that. And so it's got a nice tension just in the junk. Does that make sense?
Do you think that as a player you'll start to develop kind of an interesting taxonomy? That's something that in our present day, that's a stupid lamp, but there's like, oh, hold on, that's a lamp. I think I want to get 4 more lamps. On the lamp quest.
Yeah, there's these. We do have the reference in the 3, the Giddy Up Buttercup. It's like a play robotic horse. Yeah. And it has tons of screws, which are really important. So whenever you see a Giddy Up Buttercup, jackpot for screws. I need screws to build this thing.
So we're gonna go back to another social media. This is from @4, number 4, all out.
That's an awesome.
It's a play on words
and
numbers. All